What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're reviewing a wireless lavalier system that is probably one of the coolest versions I've ever seen of this kind of product. Let's get into it. Hollyland reached out to me and asked if I would review their new Lark 150 wireless lavalier system. I said absolutely, send it over. I have reviewed products from them before. If you guys have not seen the wireless video transmit system, I'll link it up here or in the description below. Hollyland makes solid products, so I knew with them sending something out, it was gonna be high quality, and let me tell you, it kind of blew me away. Let's unbox this thing and then we'll kind of dive into durability, audio tests, final thoughts, all that stuff. Let's unbox it first. Inside the box, you have your standard paperwork, a greeting card, and then the manual. In the top part of the box, we find another little box, and inside there is a really nice, soft, I don't know, it's kind of like a velvety bag. There's a multitude of things. You've got your charging cord for this case, which we'll get to in just a little bit. You got your 3.5mm cord that connects from the receiver to the camera. You get two fluffy windscreens that go on top, and I think it's really smart that they have this little port that goes inside the microphone and know for sure that it was secure and not going to fall out while I'm talking or walking around. It comes with two corded lav mics that connect to the transmitters, which again, I'll get to that here in just a little bit. It's a pretty good distance, definitely from like a back pocket or a front pocket to the shirt. Each lavalier has a windscreen on top, but it also comes with two extra ones in case you lose one. Then if we move on to the start of the show, we grab the case itself where the microphones and the receiver is inside. But the really cool thing about this case is, first off, it's very sturdy, very high quality, and it has a charging port on it. So this case will actually charge your two wireless microphones and your receiver all in one case, which that is a game changer to me. Why someone else hasn't thought of this, I don't know, but I was so impressed when I found out that this whole case charges everything, because it's a lot less I have to take with me on the go. Inside the case, you'll find your transmitter that has two channels on one transmitter, so you can either mute one or use both, whatever you're wanting to do. And then you have two receivers inside the case. You can use one at a time or both at the same time, depending on what you're wanting to do. Everything that's in this bundle seems high quality. Hollyland always impresses me, so I don't really know why I was surprised that everything was really nice and they went above and beyond and gave extra. Let's talk about some specs real quick. So the lavalier microphones, the two blocks that come with it, roughly last about 4 hours, maybe a little bit over each before they need to be recharged. The receiver that sits on top of your camera, I was probably getting about 7 to 8 hours maybe, which I thought was nice in case you're swapping one microphone out. So if you're out shooting and you need to use one microphone, let's say it lasts 4 hours and then it's gonna die, you can just switch to the other one and your receiver is still gonna be good. You're still gonna have enough time to continue to record. The case itself holds about 2 charges inside this thing. So you can take one microphone out, slap it in, you're good to go. It kind of reminds me almost of AirPods, that if I'm using one for Bluetooth or listening to music and I know it's gonna die, I'll just hot swap it out, put the other one in, and then I'm good to go while it's charging the other one. So that's really nice. These microphones do have a safety track option built inside, which I think is great. Every microphone should have this option. Instead of recording stereo, you could switch it over to mono, put this setting on, and you can actually now have the left channel be normal and the right channel be like down 6 dB. If you're live streaming, you're probably just gonna be set on normal and you're gonna be monitoring it. A majority of the time, a lot of people are probably just gonna be monitoring it just in normal stereo, no safety track. But if you are doing super important interviews, or maybe you've got like a bride, you know, mic'd up or something for a wedding day and you want to have a safety track just in case, that's super important to have that. And I love that there's 2 microphones in there specifically for weddings. A lot of the times when I'm out freelance shooting for weddings or anything like that, I'm miking up 2 people. So being able to mic up the groom and let's say the minister at the same time, coming through the same camera but on 2 different tracks, it's freaking awesome. So we're gonna do our audio test. I have the Lark 150 just clipped on my shirt. I do have the windscreen attached. I'm just maybe a foot or 2 away from the camera, so let me know how it sounds in the comments below. We're also gonna do a distance test, and I'm gonna turn around and make sure there's no problems with the receiver and the transmitter. I'm now about 10 yards away from the camera. It is pretty windy outside, so hopefully this windscreen is doing its job. Now standing about 20 yards away, the sun is blinding where I'm standing. Now standing about 30 yards away, about 45 yards away from the camera. I'm talking with my back to it, turning around, seeing if it has anything. I'm also stepping on leaves, so hopefully it doesn't come up too bad in the audio. Walking back towards that 20-yard mark backwards, I don't think there's gonna be a problem being this close, but I am curious to know when I get in the computer later if there's any problems when I'm back further, turning around, having any of that problem. Now we're going to be testing out the extension lavalier that comes with this little transmitter. You can either use the pack by itself or you could use this cord. Depending on what you're filming, you may not want that massive block on your shirt. So we're going to do the same test with this one, but this is the extender cable. It does have the windscreen on it, but it is a lot smaller than the other windscreen that comes with just the block itself. And at about 10 yards, I'm going to go ahead and turn around now, make sure there's no problems looking one way or the other. Now standing 20 yards, going to do the same thing, kind of just walk around a little bit. I'm going to turn around, make sure having no problems whatsoever connecting between the two. We're now about 30 yards, doing the same thing, looking around, kind of turning around, make sure there's no problems. Lastly, I am about that 45-yard distance away, running out of space in my yard before I go into my neighbor's yard over here. Turn around, kind of walk around, seeing how it sounds. Again, clipped just on my shirt, not really running cable management because there's no point for that, but hopefully it sounds good. Let's talk about some pros and cons, starting with cons. Con number one is the logo all over the microphone. This is nothing new. Competitors have this where they want their logo, their branding right on it. And I do understand that's what the extended cable is for. So if you don't want that block showing and you don't want branding all over it, but I would just prefer to have it be completely blacked out, even if it was like matte black wording on a shiny black, you know, anything that is just, it's very bright, it's right in your face. And a lot of times if I'm in a hurry, I'm just clipping that microphone on someone and I don't want a logo just plastered all over it. Con number two is on the receiver. When you go to turn the volume up and down, instead of it being gradual and smooth, which I would prefer, it clicks, like it goes up a couple decibels. And that's fine if you're, you know, setting it before you're recording, but a lot of times if you're monitoring someone and you're recording as you go, you want to be able to just gradually turn that down without ruining the take. Con number three has got to be the clip on the back of the microphone and receiver. This could just be mine. I'm not 100% sure. It's a little tight. When I was sliding it into the cold shoe mount on my camera, it was really tight. Like I didn't want to push it in all the way. I get what they were going for. They want it to be tight to where it's not going to be wobbling around, but it was really tight on my camera. The last con I noticed was audio dropping. Not so much when I was far away and facing the camera, but when I was far away and I would turn around. I definitely noticed some audio dropping out and it was having a little bit of a hard time. I was at a good distance, but it is good to know. And again, I recommend for everyone buying any kind of gear, testing it, pushing its boundaries before you would use it professionally or even for your videos that aren't professionally, so you know the limits of everything. Now let's talk about the pros. Pro number one is it sounds great. I tested this microphone, I EQ'd it, you heard it, it sounds good. It sounds good just straight out of camera. I do think it probably sounds a little bit better without the extended lav cord. That could just be the situation that I was in. Maybe I had the microphone a little too far off, not really sure, but it always comes down to audio. It always comes down to how does it sound? This is a microphone, so we want it to sound good, and I think it sounds really good. Pro number two has to be the safety tracks. I love having that feature inside microphones, especially if you're gonna be using this in a professional setting. You want to have a safety track just in case. You never know if someone's gonna get really loud and possibly ruin something that you can't go back and reshoot. Then pro number four, the last one, is I freaking love that charging case. It is so smart. You put that in your camera bag and everything is nice and tidy inside there and you're good to go, like completely good to go. It also is really nice because if you're having a hard time with signals and maybe it lost signal, slap those in the case and it will immediately sync them back up. So that was just like awesome when I found that out. Final thoughts, if you are in the market for a wireless lavalier system, or maybe you have one and you're wanting to upgrade, I would definitely consider checking this one out, especially if you are someone that shoots weddings. Being able to mic up a groom and a minister or whoever at the same time and record it into either a field recorder or you're straight into your camera, It is a game changer, having it all in this little case. Quality of this product is great, and Hollyland always knocks it out of the park. Disclaimer, this was sent to me for free, but Hollyland has nothing to do with what I'm saying. They haven't seen this video. They're not affecting my opinions at all. If you guys are interested in picking this microphone up, I'll have a link in the description below. Thank you, Hollyland, for sending it out. That's it for me today, guys. You guys are amazing. Do all the things down below, like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell, dance around, have a rodeo. I'll see you guys next time. I'm the Iron Giant. Peace.